Hey guys, I'm Maggie, a Danish baker. Today I'm going to show you how to make muesli. The recipe that I have created, it is like a mixture between granola and traditional muesli. I think it's like kind of the best of both worlds. It's really delicious. I like to eat it even just as a snack if I leave it in the clumps. It's very good on yogurt or with milk, and this recipe in particular is sweetened with natural sugars just to make it a little bit healthier. It's also naturally gluten-free, so this is a food sensitivity friendly recipe. Let's jump right in. Wash your hands, roll up your sleeves, and let's get baking. So we're gonna start off with some oats. Next, we're gonna add some seeds. I'm only going to add sunflower and pumpkin seeds. You could also add some nuts to this if you want. But personally, I just like the combo of sunflower and pumpkin. You could also add almonds or chia seeds, pecans, customize it and make it your own. So whatever seeds you would like to add those in. I'm gonna do some sea salt. If you use just table salt, you will want to add a little bit more than the recipe says. And then we're gonna do some cinnamon. Now the recipe is linked below, and it's in English and in Danish, and also metric and US Customary. Next we're gonna add some vanilla. This is vanilla extract. Any vanilla would work for this, whether it's vanilla paste or vanilla powder, whatever you might like to do. Maybe if it's just vanilla bean powder all by itself, do about half the amount of vanilla that the recipe calls for. And then we're going to do some sweeteners. So I'm gonna start with some agave syrup. Next is honey. You could also use maple if you wanted to instead of honey or agave. And next is oil. You could use coconut oil and melt that down and use that instead. I am using high oleic safflower oil, but even olive oil or avocado oil would work just fine too. I have not ever tried doing butter. You could try it. I think it would just shorten the shelf life. But if you're going to eat it pretty quickly, then you could use butter instead and refrigerate it. So then we're gonna mix this. You don't have to bake this if you don't want to. You could just leave it as is and eat it, but you would need to put it in the fridge in order for it to not go moldy. But I really like to bake it, and that's how you can get it to be clumpy. And then you can decide how big of clumps you want it. If you want it to be more like granola, or if you want it to be more like traditional muesli. So then we're going to take a baking sheet, has some baking paper or a silicone sheet on it, and spread this out. Something I forgot to do is you want to oil the edges as well so that it won't stick. You could use the oil that you use in it. I could take this oil, put it on my fingers and rub it around, but I'm just going to use this spray and just a really light coat. Then we're going to spread this all out and try to make it as even as you can, because if there's a spot that dips down, it's going to bake faster and it might burn. So then we're going to stick this in the oven. The oven is preheated to about 350 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about between 180 degrees Celsius. And we will put it in there for 10 minutes, and then we will stir this all around, bring the edges in, and we're going to use the spatula to press it all down. So from here, we put it back in the oven and we just watch it. It could take 10 more minutes, it could take 15. What we want to see is the top has turned a little bit golden. Then we know it's ready to pull out of the oven. All right, so here's our muesli all finished baking. It's completely cooled. It took about 45 minutes in the window. There was a little bit of a breeze. So now we're gonna break it up. And as you can see, it kind of all sticks together like a sheet, which is nice. We want it to be that way because then we can decide what size of pieces we want our muesli to be in. So if we want it to be more granola-like, we can just simply break it up. And now it's really easy to eat like a snack. If we wanted it more muesli-like, we could break it up even further so that it kind of just crumbles all apart. Traditionally in Denmark, at least the stuff that I saw and tasted, wasn't as clumped together. It was more like this. So yeah, that's up to you on how you want to do it. If it seems a little bit moist, then you can take it, break it up into pieces, and then put it in like a dehydrator or put it in the oven on like its lowest setting overnight so that it won't have any moisture left in it. And then you can extend the shelf life even further, because any humidity, any moisture that is left in this muesli will make it so that it can grow mold. But if it has no moisture left in it, then you can just leave it on the counter for probably about up to a month. This one, as you might be able to see, it's kind of sticking together rather than just straight crumbling. So that means I'm going to need to dry this a little bit more. I want the whole thing to be uniformly crunchy and dry. So I'm going to put this in the oven at the very lowest setting. And for me, that is about 100 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know what that is Celsius. But I'm just gonna let this dry for the rest of the day. And then tonight, I'm going to package it up in a Ziploc bag. And then it can sit on my counter for a month, if it even lasts that long. And once this is fully dry, you add in some raisins or dates or any other fruit you might want to use, just some dried fruit. That's the end of making muesli. It's pretty simple. If you have any questions, concerns, if you want to send me some pictures, feel free to comment below or go to the recipe website, and you can contact me through my email on that website. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Happy baking!